What's up, guys? Jacob over here. Welcome to my NFL Divisional Round reactions for 2019. This weekend kind of sucked. Divisional Round weekend sucked, and that kind of sucks because I thought this was going to be a really entertaining Divisional Round weekend. There are a lot of really interesting matchups coming into this weekend, but unfortunately, a lot of the games were kind of boring, and with the exception of the Eagles and the Saints to close it out, that game just ended. The Saints won 20-14 on Marshon Lattimore's late interception to seal the victory when Nick Foles was driving to score the winning score. But other than that game, this kind of sucked. I mean, I was really looking forward to having a lot of really awesome matchups. Luck versus Mahomes, and Brady versus Rivers, and Goff versus Prescott, and that Rams interior D-line versus the Cowboys rush attack. I mean, there was just so many great matchups and looking forward to, but a lot of the games are kind of snooze fests. I mean, the Chiefs blew out the Colts, the Patriots blew out the Chargers, and then the Rams beat the Cowboys in a game that was probably not as close as the final score indicated. I believe the Rams won 30-22. Wasn't that close towards the end for sure. But the final game, I'm going to talk the most about the final game because I have a lot to say about this one, and I was really invested into this game, the Eagles versus the Saints, and I wanted the Eagles to win not only because I like the upset, I like Nick Foles, but also because the Packers have a first-round pick riding on that game, like where that pick was going to land. Because if you guys don't remember, the Packers actually own that first-round pick of the New Orleans Saints. So if the Saints lose this game, the Packers get a higher pick. Obviously, it's not going to make a whole lot of difference, but I still wanted the Saints to lose just so we could get like pick number 26 or something instead of like pick number 29 if the Saints end up losing next week, or if they lose in the Super Bowl, or maybe even win the Super Bowl, it'd be 32. But it was a really good game for the most part. The Eagles jumped out of that 14-0 lead, then the Saints battled back. They took the lead. Then Nick Foles, or Will Lutz rather, missed that field goal, that 52-yard field goal. I thought for sure he was going to make it because you're in a dome. Even though it was a long field goal, he had only missed 2 on the year. I thought for sure Lutz was going to make that field goal, but he didn't. The Eagles got the ball back. Nick Foles is driving his team down the field, and then that's where that one play came in. Right before the 2-minute warning, it was 2nd down and 9, I believe. It looked like they were going to run down the clock. It looked like they were totally content with running the clock down to the 2-minute warning and then doing 2nd down and 9 after that. But instead, they rush up to the line right before that, and they get a playoff. And Nick Foles throws it to Alshon Jeffrey, who was open, by the way. Goes right through his hands, picked off by Marshon Lattimore. That was pretty much the game. The Eagles had one more chance to get the ball back. They were unable to stop Alvin Kamara on 3rd and 10. They ran him right up the middle. I still don't know how he was able to get through there, but I mean, that kind of sucked. I mean, I was really rooting for the Eagles. I really wanted the Eagles to win, and I like Nick Foles a lot. Nick Foles is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL, one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love his story, his underdog persona, and like that whole magic around him, like he was undefeated in the postseason coming into this game, and like it felt to me like he was going to continue to grow that legend today after that 14-0 start. And even when they were driving down in the final minutes of the game, I thought he was honestly going to win the game for him. I mean, just like he did in Chicago. And can you imagine if he had won that game, if he had actually driven them down and won that game? And he got close, by the way. I mean, his legend, like, it grew a whole lot after that Super Bowl. It would have grown a whole lot again after a game like that if he was able to lead a game-winning touchdown drive. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. The Eagles ended up losing, and I was pretty upset over it, but I'm over it. I wasn't too into the game, like a Packers playoff loss or anything. Even though I wouldn't put it past the Packers to lose in that fashion in a playoff. But anyways, though, I mean, other than that game, though, it sucked. I mean, I was really looking forward to those matchups and everything. But we've got a pretty good conference championship weekend. I'm hoping that the conference championship game, or the conference championship weekend next weekend, is miles better than this one. We've got Mahomes versus Brady, Breeze versus Goff, Rams versus Saints, and Chiefs versus Patriots. That's going to be a really entertaining conference championship weekend, I would hope. Okay, I did think that the division round this weekend was going to be really entertaining. It wasn't, but the conference championship weekend, hopefully we get two really, really good games out of that. Hopefully, I'm hoping that Mahomes and the Chiefs end up winning and the Rams and Goff end up winning. If we get a Chiefs and Rams Super Bowl, that'd be really awesome, something we haven't ever seen before. Really, really don't want to see the Patriots. And I mean, I'd be okay with the Saints winning it, or getting there at least. I'd be okay with that, even though it means worse draft position. I don't mind the Saints. I think the Saints, I like Drew Brees a lot. I don't really mind the Saints that much, even though I know if the Saints end up winning, Brees fans are going to have that, Brees has 2 rings over Rodgers, 1 argument on us. But you know what? Whatever, But hopefully we get a good conference championship weekend next weekend. Hopefully we get 2 entertaining games. But until then, guys, I'm going to have my reactions to that after the conference championships are over. Until then, guys, though, thanks for watching. That's all I have to say in this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.